Hello, and welcome to the Bel-E and Scratch podcast. I am your host, Bel-E.
And I am your co-host, Scratch.
And today, it just doesn't frickin' end, let me phrase that. I made it end.
Yeah.
Alright, so I don't know if I said this last recording or the recording before, but basically I'm currently in the process of a breakup. Not a big breakup, mind you. Because to me, a big breakup is like, you're throwing, someone's clothes out of your house and setting shit on fire.
Which is completely unreasonable.
It's unreasonable. Here's the thing.
I see that stuff.
Yeah, you see that on, World's Dumbest Cheaters or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. I would say that is only necessary in very specific circumstances. Hypothetically, your spouse not only cheated on you, but they also stole your money, stole your family heirlooms, stole the house, and completely left you destitute. That's the only reason I could see
lost the cap to the toothpaste.
Yeah.
You bastard.
Yeah. Those conditions are the only ones I can think of to where you would want to, torch their car and smash up their
Throw their golf clubs
out
a second-story window.
Yeah, that's the only reason
Golf club.
Yeah, golf clubs. That's the only reason I can think of to go, yeah, that's justified, is if they screwed you over so bad that you had not a penny, not a friend, not a family member to go to.
Okay, now
does that make sense?
I can entertain that.
Yeah, other than that, no. That's some white trash business that no one should participate in.
Other than you bang the partner's a relative.
Sure. That's, the wife, sister, husband, brother.
That's out of bounds.
Yeah, that's that too. I think I remember.
But, remember what?
Hang on a moment.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Excuse me.
All right. Yeah, something was on fire.
No.
It was a candle that caught fire.
Are designed to be lit on fire.
Yeah, and then it caught fire, and it was near a Post-it note. Yeah, it was on fire, and then I smelt the burning embers of lavender, and it's like, what the hell? And it's right next to a Post-it note, so I just went, oh, yeah, no.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, next time, I have 15 more of those types of candles.
So a new rule?
Well, I'm definitely going to put it on a dish.
No incendiary devices engaged during the podcast.
Well, I just thought it was neat because it's like, hey, this has got lavender in it, and it did smell like lavender before it was burnt.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, momentary distraction. That was actually kind of awesome.
Breaking the action, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, something caught fire, and I had to fix it. Anyway.
She was a worst responder.
Hey. Those are fighting words. So if I was the first, if I'm the first responder, are you the second responder, ER man?
I said worst.
Oh, that's even better. Anyway, so basically in the process of a breakup, and I don't want to go into details.
It's a drag. Because
it is a fucking drag. I'm not going to be naming names at this stage, but if I had the authority and the power, I'd probably sink this dude's entire life. If I had the ability, I'd be like, I don't want you dead.
Well,
I don't want you financially ruined. I just want you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially what happened.
But the thing about it is people that live their lives this way, and,
they just can't find peace anyway.
I don't see how they can.
I don't either, because, all right, look, what had happened...
Well, see, the problem is people have become involved in too many complex things that are not meant to be navigated without pain. Ooh, how does that work?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. If you're willing to take the punch,
sure, but you can't do it forever.
Well, that's what I'm. Yeah, true.
All right.
You just gotta understand going in that this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, with any relationship, I guess you have to understand this is gonna hurt, but you just have to be in a situation.
You just have to be. Yeah, you have to be brave to open yourself up like that.
Yeah, I mean to be that transparent. But
sure.
Yeah. But I know everybody thinks it's a materialistic view, but what does the other person bring to the table? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, are they worth the trouble you're about to get yourself into?
I think that's a legitimate question for any.
I personally, it doesn't have to be relationship
between people.
Crap, smoke.
It's out.
Okay, I know. I just want to make sure it's out.
I understand.
I don't want no Friday the 13th where it just roars back to life and catches my makeup box on fire. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right, look, without getting into an awful lot of details, because I don't want this to turn into the Drama Llama Hour.
Thank God.
Yeah, I don't play that all the time. All right, so I had been around guys and dated guys around my age, which is like early to mid-20s at that point,
Yeah.
And for numerous reasons, I've decided, hey, I don't like any of you. I don't like what you look like, because you all look like boys, even though you're like 35, which is a weird trick of genetics, which perplexes me in a way.
Yeah.
Like, a good example is the boy bands of like the 90s and the early 2000s. Those guys look like dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were spruced up to look all, symmetrical and cute. Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. Whether you're pro or con, either or, they looked like men, but they were marketed to younger lasses and some dudes, if you swing that way. But,
sure.
But then you go to like One Direction and the K-pop boy bands. They look like children. They look like young teenagers, even though they're in their 20s, yeah. And it's like, this makes me uncomfortable. I like some K-pop boy bands, because they got sometimes.
So what you're saying is a lot of the dudes
they look way too young.
Following that style?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a style, if it's something like that's just starting to happen, where, they just keep looking it's looking young is not the problem,
right.
Yeah. It's when you look borderline adolescent is when I have the issues. Does that make sense?
Oh. So they're not in high school, they're in middle school?
Sometimes you can see, like, some celebrities, they'll look like that. They don't look like they're fully matured. And we can go on and on about how, world run by, kitty touchers and all that stuff. And it's like, we know, but we can't do anything about it. So let's just move on. So, it's just stuff like that bugs me.
Well, I mean, there is the national interpretation of what a man or a woman is definitely can be a nationalized narrative.
No, I know.
I mean, when we look at the past, we look at post World War II.
Yeah.
And
Red Foreman.
Well, you had the dad tough guy.
Yeah. Because that was all that's left.
Because that was all when they came home from the war.
That was all that's left.
Well, it was definitely publicly measurable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so they turned it into a meme.
Yes.
Let's use that term.
Sure.
And promoted it through television shows, media, movies, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happens. Is exactly what you're describing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different look, but it's the same. It's the same. Spreading that type of image.
Sure.
And obviously, by the well, okay, all right. Let's segue this into what you're involved in.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes what is popular is not always right.
Correct. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
There's a significant, as far as I used this in terms with beginning to truly understand what to do in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
There's training methodology out there.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of press. I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever.
However.
But it is based on popularity. And there is a better way.
Yes.
You're involved in something that is a better way.
Indeed. It's
so,
just, but that was just kind of my point is, like I said, looking young is not the problem. It's
the age.
It's not the age. Like, it's the problem. It's the problem where, say, a good example of this is kind of what, it kind of encapsulates what I'm talking about. The singer Ariana Grande. I'm sure you've at least heard, if not seen, what she looks like.
I have.
Does she look like she's 25?
Facial feature-wise?
In general?
No. But
exactly.
I see at the age of people in their eyes.
Sure.
And as much as you can augment
yes.
the areas outside of the eye.
Mm-hmm. You can't hide the eyes.
You can't hide the eyes.
No, I know that.
And I read people's eyes.
No, I get it.
So me, when I look at it, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, she is.
She just every time I see a new music video of her or like a stage performance, it's like I feel like they're making her to be about 10 years younger than she should be, like high school level. Well, and I am deeply uncomfortable by this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she should never grow up, or she should. I'm not saying she should grow up, and I'm saying she should never grow up. I'm just saying that she's being marketed a certain way, and it makes me uncomfortable.
I got you.
It's got nothing to do with femininity or the woman's age or anything. It's the fact that she's being marketed as such. And it's like, I don't like that. That's not a good idea.
Listen, you know how, I mean, I haven't expressed on here how I feel about it. Don't talk to me about feminine empowerment when there's this oppressive march related to looking and staying younger. I don't care how open-minded someone is. Can I today in today's world?
You can't ask anyone's age.
Can I ask a woman's age?
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, ma'am. How old are you?
Mm-hmm.
And there's not going to be a hesitation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about empowerment. Don't talk to me about oppressive state.
Yeah, and I don't like
created by some other entity.
And I don't care for that either.
That is oppressive.
Yeah, and I don't care for that either because
to
there's
look
nothing.
That young constantly.
Yeah, constantly.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. No, there is dignity in old age, even though people just don't take care of themselves.
There's dignity in the process.
Yeah, there's dignity in the process, and I think part of the reason is not just because of marketing or that a narrative has been pushed, but also we don't, as a society, just don't take care of ourselves so that when we do get that age, we're in a wheelchair, bedridden, our mind is just gone. We're basically just a piece of meat with a pulse.
Well,
and it's
not
like
a very high percentage.
Still,
I mean, that's pretty.
That's kind of part of the narrative being pushed is when you reach 60, your life is essentially over, and that's just not true.
It isn't true. It is not.
I've got a grandma who she's probably going to outlive us all.
That's a possibility.
You know, she may not have the physical capability of whooping your ass, but she's gonna talk it out of you.
Yeah. So.
But anyway.
So there's, I see what you're saying, because there's no transition.
Yeah. So that's not my style, you know.
Right.
I don't like it when someone's 25, 30 and up, but they still look like they haven't graduated, high school yet. That's not my style. That whole, boyish charm, in the face and all that. No.
Right.
If I was into that thing, I can't say that on here.
Well.
Anyway.
Sometimes you got to see people that's got a few miles on them.
Indeed. So, and that's basically what I did. I decided, okay, I don't like the guys around my age. Now, granted, they're, around this type of town. So I don't really have a lot of options, because it's either like church boy, country boy, city boy, hipster. Around people, guys my age.
Right.
And it's like, I don't like any of you. I at least have respect for the country boys, because at least they're honest.
Yeah.
Church is hit or miss, because the genuine ones I'm too wild for, and the disgenuine ones I will gut them. City guys, I want to go to the forest.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
For legal reasons, it's a joke. But not really. But yes, it is. The city folk, I like going to mountains and forests too much to stay basically domesticated like that.
Yeah.
And hipsters just piss me off.
They do annoy you.
Yeah, they annoy me. I mean, here's the thing. I would appreciate...
I can't just...
I would appreciate hipsters if they would point out bands and things that I would like and enjoy. But you can't tell me that you can't just pull up with some... You can't just pull up with some kind of, like, phonograph recording of this old school jazz band from like the 1910s called the Herpy Derps, and you just play 20 minutes of absolute noise and said this was the breakthrough of jazz. It's like, it's just noise, Ted. Because it's always Ted.
Really?
Probably. I don't know.
People, it's called an opinion.
Exactly. So... I didn't care for guys my age. The pool for me to pick from is not super deep, at least around here. I'm not limiting myself.
Your circle is...
Yeah, in my circle, I know. I'm getting out of there.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I want to go the other end of the spectrum. Someone who is much older and does not look like a boy. I found one. And I want to stab him.
Well,
for legal reasons, this is a joke.
Verbally.
I'm still dealing with feelings of wanting to throw a toaster at his face, but that is significantly lessened.
No toasters.
Yeah, not even like a nice toaster. Like one of those toasters you find at Goodwill that's rusted and the cord's cut. That type of toaster.
It was built in 1957.
Yeah, exactly. So you know that thing's made of steel.
Steel.
So it'll break,
American steel.
Yeah, break their nose when you hit them with it.
Well, that's more,
For legal reasons, this is a joke. Anyway, so that was kind of, I admit it was an experiment. I admit at some point we would not have lasted. I admit that.
Yeah.
And I admitted it to myself. I didn't go in with the expectation of, my soulmate. Well, I did not go in with that expectation. Because I just wanted to...
You don't know how stuff ends. I mean,
exactly. What I expected to happen to us was at some point we just kind of look at each other and go, hey,
over tea
or something. We would go like, hey, I realize you're just not digging this no more and I'm not digging this no more. Basically just grow apart. Does that make sense?
With some cheesy acoustic guitar music in the background.
Yeah, he could actually play the guitar, so maybe. So, that's what I was expecting. That's...
You kind of glance back.
Yeah.
Walking out the door.
Yeah. Remember That song, Don't You Forget About Me, starts playing in the background.
That's awful.
Here's the thing.
It never happens that way.
Yeah, no, it never happens that way. And I was thinking that he was mature enough to do something about it. But no.
Okay.
Age does not equate to maturity.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that the reason it didn't turn into your version of what a good end would be is completely on his shoulders because he's not mature enough?
Let me... Well, based on...
Did you hand him a script before it all started?
No. I was not trying to manipulate that end at all.
Sure.
But what had actually happened makes me go, oh.
Well.
Oh, I'm going to burn you.
Well, I mean...
Oh, if I wasn't raised right, you would have made an enemy for life.
Well, that's why I can, I used to hang out with rough people.
Yeah.
And because of my physical appearance and the way I carry myself, apparently.
Yeah.
I would go into these average vanilla kind of places, and people still kind of looked at me like I was going to take their wallet.
Yeah, I know.
So, I felt more comfortable in rougher places.
Sure.
And then I had an experience that made me go, you know what?
I don't need to be here.
I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
I don't need to be.
This ain't for me.
This ain't for, exactly.
And that's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
You just go, hey, all right. I don't fit with this crowd.
Yeah.
Completely anymore.
Yeah.
It's time for me to step away.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
And I don't mean that in a negative way for them.
No.
It just didn't suit where I was going.
Yeah, you just grew apart.
We just grew apart.
Yeah. But what had happened was, we had been in contact and kind of dating since the beginning of this year. And honestly, when we were together, I have no other way of putting it, but it was exactly what I wanted in a relationship.
Yeah.
No subject was taboo. He was an ex-combat medic, so the stuff that you and I, like anatomy and asking questions about diseases and injuries, I could talk to him about that.
Right.
Which is something that I always enjoy, because it fascinates me, the human anatomy.
Yeah.
We would tell stories, we would counsel each other, or at least, anyway. Give each other advice and talk to each other, and he was a really cool person. I just, we went places, went to the, mountains and the forests.
Yeah.
He was about 20 plus years older than me, mind you, so...
You gotta watch out for people's A game.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta figure out whether it's the game.
Or it's them.
Or it's the player.
Yeah, I know.
And if that player A game is legit, then...
Well, I guess in this instance it wasn't, but but here's the thing, that doesn't stop me from going...
That's what it sounds like.
You know what, that doesn't stop me from going, you know what? Even though it was probably a facade, that's my goal. Does that make sense? Like, I want the facade, except it's not a facade. I want the reality of it.
I've said this a bunch of times.
Does that make more sense?
Absolutely. Why can't you have what you want?
Exactly. That was what I wanted. When he presented it, it was fake. Right. At least...
I've seen a lot of...
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So...
Yes.
But what had happened was we had, a trip going up to Tennessee. You heard me talking about it a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah.
But ever since that trip, there was I don't know what happened.
Oh.
I'm getting to it.
You didn't get out and help them change the tire. That's what it is. How dare you, lady?
I wanted to, but I was ushered to the car. Anyway. So, I don't know what switch got flipped after this trip. I genuinely don't know what happened. I can take a guess at it, but that's going into details. But there was a friend of mine at I will go to several game nights, for various games, be it D&D, board games. Hers was like the poker night.
Right.
They don't play with money, thankfully. So I'm not. I was good friends with this lass who ran the show. She's the one that introduced me to this guy. And, she went with us on the trip with her fiance. So it was me, the guy I was with, her fiance, and my former boyfriend's son and his wife. Which, that was the weirdest interaction I have ever had in my life, and I don't want to do that again. Because it's one thing to meet
It does sound weird.
It's one thing to date someone and you meet their parents, their brothers and sisters, maybe aunts, uncles, and cousins, grandparents maybe. It is an entirely different experience when you're dating someone and they introduce you to their child.
It's a little different.
That was different. I don't want to do it again. I got nothing against his kid and his daughter and his daughter-in-law.
Sure.
They are wonderful people. I wish I was still in contact with them, because I'm not anymore. But, I got nothing against them. That was just a weird interaction that I was not mentally prepared for. I don't think I would have been mentally prepared for it.
Created some synaptic gaps that night.
Yeah, I did. So, I definitely know I don't want to do it again. Ever.
Cool.
Young child, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Roughly same age as me? No, hail to the no.
It's a little odd.
That is odd. But so, it was the six of us going to Tennessee, and then, getting drunk in downtown, Tennessee, the cannabis carts, Johnny Cash restaurant didn't play Johnny
Saloon
Cash.
keeper.
Yeah, exactly. All that happens.
Right.
The son and the daughter-in-law, they have to go back to wherever they're going to. And so it was me, guy I was with in his truck, and in the backseat was my good friend and his good friend, too. They'd known each other for, her and him known each other for about a year and a half before I came into the picture, which is fine.
Sure.
And then there was my friend's fiance. I don't know what switch got flipped when we came back. But every time me and the guy I was with had an interaction, at some point he would steer the conversation towards her and her relationship with the fiance. And like I said, the guy I was with knew her a year and a half before I came into the picture. So I was like, at first I was like, I get it. Something been stewing. At first, I was like, okay, you're concerned with your friend. I understand.
Because you had established a relationship that no subject was taboo.
Correct.
He unconsciously unloaded what had been cooking in his head to you. Uh-huh. Because you was the only one that had established that type of relationship with him.
Indeed. Because I was the only person that would talk to him about literally anything. Like his times over in the Middle East, defending Afghanistan.
Actually, you may have, once he verbalized it, you may have been...
What?
It's your fault.
Fuck you mean it's my fault.
It's your fault.
Fuck you mean it's my fault. Don't you put this on me.
No, see, I'm going to tell you something. He couldn't accept it until he verbalized it. And he established a relationship with you, which going in, he had no idea that you would establish that type of communication with him.
That's just how I operate.
That's how you operate, sure.
Because I'm a communicator.
Because you're a communicator. But people don't...
people are not communicators.
Well, as a rule, they're not.
Okay.
Not different... I mean, obviously, there's different levels of it. But the thing about it is once you establish that, hey, you can talk to me and be comfortable talking to me about anything, he did. Yeah. And then when he verbalized it, it hit him in the head.
Because he said it out loud, so his ears heard it and his brain understood
and his brain finally, that's a way of accepting things when you speak. Maybe we don't speak things into existence. Maybe we observe existence
Sure.
taking place and then verbalizing it allows us to embrace it.
Sure. No, I understand that principle.
So
but at the
maybe
same,
that had been cooking in him for a long time. I mean, who's he going to share that information with?
He couldn't do it with her because she was getting married.
Yeah, and he can't do it with his kid because his kid is like, "Shut the fuck up, Dad, hand me a bear."
Yeah.
You know? So
what had happened was, you know, he really talk to anyone about it because, say, you know, the chick he and I know, my friend, his friend, I'm trying not to say anyone's names. I swear I am trying my damnedest.
I don't care, sure. Hey.
So, the way, and I've seen this before, where he will try to talk about something or try to suggest something, like, you know, either an activity or something he should do. She would, I've seen it done, not just with her, she was the strongest one, but she and a couple of other people he and I knew would basically do the equivalent of throw the plan off the table, verbally, off the table, and basically point at him and say, no, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to learn this, you're going to learn that, you're going to go here. I don't know.
No, I mean, what's the motive behind that?
I guess it was
to embrace something, shouting from the world, and they're saying, "Oh no, you're gonna
do this instead.
You're gonna live, motherfucker.
No. It wouldn't be like, oh, I think I need to stay home, and they're trying to get him out of his shell. It was the opposite.
Wait a minute. They're trying to tone him down?
Yes.
Really?
They were trying to control, dominate, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you have to understand his parameters.
Sure.
For,
you know, ex-military and
being in that type of situation.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, you know, coming from my background, and then I gotta be careful how I talk to people.
Sure.
Because I think somebody's cool,
and then they ain't.
Well, I'm not saying they ain't. I'm just saying they want to talk to me about, what's gross thing you ever said. I learned.
Yeah. To not tell them the grossest thing you've ever seen.
Because you got to build up to that.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, like I could ask you that.
You could.
But your response would be pick a body part.
Yeah.
And I know you're telling me the truth when you tell me that.
Right. I was saying,
people, I get it.
I understand. I mean, it's not really a deficit that you can't fit certain stuff in your head. I mean,
I'll give you an example. This didn't exactly happen.
Frame reference.
I'll give you an example. The difference between me and this friend of ours, like say, you know, he's ex-military, you know, combat medic. He has all of the guns, just by principle.
How many guns you got there, Bill?
All of them. This is also another reason why. This is kind of another reason why I'm not trying to basically vandalize his house at this moment, because he will shoot me, and he has every right to shoot me. But I'm not going to do it because I'm not stupid.
Yeah, let's be smart.
Yeah, like say he says, you know, I think I want to get this pistol. For whatever reason, or I want to get this. This pistol because it has this ammo type. Whatever. She would just say, "You have enough guns. You need to stop it. You need to stop hoarding all these guns. You know, what are you expecting? You know, you expecting a civil war to break out?"
This individual he is interested in.
Yes.
Oh, that's what it is.
He needs someone to tell him what to do.
He needs somebody to tell him what to do in an authoritarian way. Okay,
that makes sense, because my response to the same question was, why? Why this particular pistol? Well, it's got this. Okay. Is it like a sidearm, something you want to keep in your nightstand?
He feels safe with somebody who tells him what to do.
I guess that's the only thing that I can think of, because I would make him.
That's a base need. I mean,
No, I get it. I'm just saying I made him think about it and use his brain.
Oh.
I would ask him questions. I wouldn't just tell him straight up no.
Right.
I would make him think about it and consciously, use his fucking brain.
Right. Well, that's the way you approach things.
Correct. And that's why until we talked about it, that's why I was just like, she just tries to control his every move. Like, he doesn't have any peace. Because she's constantly checking in on him, making sure, trying to figure out where he's at, telling her where she's at every hour on the
that's
hour.
very interesting, because basically even if he's not conscious of it, sooner or later what's going to happen, and I've seen this with a lot of relationships.
Sure.
I've seen the one of the individuals I don't know if they're completely conscious of it, but purposefully dysfunctional to keep the other person on top of them. Because that's how they...
Isn't that codependency?
Yes, in a modern sense of how we define things.
Sure.
It's codependency.
Sure.
But I don't think labeling it as such necessarily detracts from the possible positive aspects of it. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
It's kind of like it's the language in which you're raised.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. And then that's why it takes a lot of people. That's why you got to be in marriages, especially.
Yes.
A long time.
Mm-hmm.
It helps. I guess it helps filter out the more this dysfunctional stuff.
Sure.
Part of the relationship tension between the matriarch and myself was because she was used to a different style of interaction.
Sure.
And I said I said to myself, I wasn't going to interact with her that way. But I didn't understand at that time that I would have been more effective
if you had interacted with the way she understood.
Say more controlling. You do this, you do that, blah, 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 blah. I respond to an authoritative interaction because both my parents were basically...
you don't want to say authoritative.
I don't remember the word
way.
Please getting used.
Yeah,
a lot.
like you mean authoritative, but not in a negative way.
Please in my house is usually a delay after the end of the statement, and
it was made like 5 minutes later.
As an afterthought.
Indeed.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's the language that I grew up. People grow up with that type of language.
No, I get it. That's just what they're used to.
They can respond to that type of interaction.
No, I get it. So basically, he had told me that he was through being told what to do. He was done with the chaos. He just wanted order. So I just said, okay, I will not. He hated being told what to do because he spent 20 years in the military. And I was like, oh, I won't do that. Well, and yet he responded extremely positively to someone who not only told him what to do, but was on top of his every footstep.
Right.
And it only increased after I basically broke things off, apparently.
Maybe he doesn't want to be responsible for his own actions.
I don't know. All I know is that...
At least, when somebody's telling you what to do and things don't go right.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Then you can blame them. He doesn't want to accept responsibility for his own actions.
Oh, I know. That's kind of why I'm still pissed at her. I'm not mad at her because I don't have enough evidence to suggest that she may have had a bigger hand in us getting split up than I want to admit.
Well,
but I'm not ruling it out. Because here's the thing, your brain interjects stuff like that all the time. That ego part of your brain.
The comic book style of picture going on in your head.
Yeah, and yet here's the thing.
Then they drew swords.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But here's the thing. After a while, thoughts like that will dissipate when you go, it's not that complex, or that's a lie.
Yeah, I know, but it's interesting how you have to, and I wish more people did it, that you actually have to...
examine your thoughts.
Examine your thoughts. And
go, yeah.
Okay, probably didn't happen.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
The difference is the thought process that she had a bigger hand and him and I splitting up hasn't lessened.
Right, but...
So that leads me to believe that either, be it intuition
What I would,
or I picked something up, I think that's more true than I'm willing to admit.
True. However,
yes.
And this is no way, shape, or form minimalizing what she was involved in or may have not done.
Sure.
But her stance on relationships leads her to operate a particular way.
Oh, I know. My friend is polyamorous.
So,
but here's the thing.
I would imagine that if you're going to operate, I guess the honorable thing to do would be to turn that off when you're around people that are seeing, quote unquote, friends of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
However,
I don't know.
If that's your chosen path,
then I guess not.
Then you're not really going to change a lot.
No. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing that gets me, too, is here's the thing. I got no problem against someone who's polyamory. I'm not polyamorous. I don't do that. That's not my style.
Yep.
It's too many rules, and people keep changing the rules.
Yep.
And if it was like monogamy, where there's a simple set of rules, and if you break those rules, you just don't date each other.
Right.
But every single
possibility.
Every single relationship that I've encountered where it was like either small or big polyamory, the rules vary from day to day, time to time, relationship to relationship, to the point where it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Never at dusk.
Never at
dusk.
Never juggle rabbits at dusk.
Never juggle rabbits.
No, never.
Never.
That is a savagery.
That's right.
Anyway, or whatever Steve Martin said. But here's the thing. She was getting married. She is polyamory and bi, because sometimes stuff like that goes hand in hand. And again, I got nothing against it. I'm just letting you know what the situation is.
What the rules are this week.
Yeah, what the rules are this week. She's getting married to someone at the time of this recording. Now, whether this changes in the future, I don't know. She's getting married to someone who is not poly and not bi, a guy.
Right.
So he doesn't appreciate the fact that she is on top of the guy I was with, like I am.
Right.
Saying that he's not allowed at their house unless he was already there. The fiance was there at their own house. It couldn't be my friend and the guy I was with alone at their house.
Where did that come from?
Him.
Him who him?
The fiance.
Really?
He said it.
Oh. Well, all right.
Uh-huh. That was kind of around the time I started to realize that I think I may have accidentally wound up in a situation that I definitely bit off more than I could chew, but I'm giving myself a break because I didn't know how deep this hole was going to be. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Man, you did the right thing by extricating yourself from the situation.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Here's the thing,
buddy. That's
the fiance.
Good grief.
The fiance gave my friend some rules. She can have whatever situation, whatever relationship she wanted with chicks, because she swung that way too. Mm-hmm. She could not have the same type of interaction with dudes. Only him. You can see where there's probably going to be an issue at some point.
Heck yeah.
Because
if you got to say it.
If you have to say it.
You have to say it.
Yeah. So...
That doesn't sound great at all.
No, it doesn't. So here's the thing. She's trying to get married. She's running all these businesses.
When are they getting married?
I think later this year.
They set a date?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm probably not getting invited to.
I don't know if
I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not sure.
I'm not telling you what to do.
No, but here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you this.
Right.
Win, lose, or draw, I want to see the end of this shitstorm.
Oh.
I don't want to be there when it all clashes.
Listen.
But I want to be there to see I want the damage report at the end of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it could turn into a generational thing. This is a big deal.
hey, I'm willing to wait.
All right.
I'm not. At first I was like, oh, I want to be there right on the sidelines as the train crashes. But then I realized, you know what? I got better shit to do than to wait for a train to crash.
Yeah.
So I've completely retracted myself from the situation, and I'm just waiting for, plugs and people who are involved or near the situation to just feed me information as we go. It's the only time I would do that. So...
Yeah. No, I mean...
Basically what had happened was he would just not talk about... He would just keep talking about her and how her marriage wasn't going to last, and he was essentially gleeful that it was going to fall apart, and then she'd come running to him. He said this to me!
Well...
In person! I basically was like, dude, what? What?
Oh.
So when I tried to give him pushback, that and the massage parlor job, which all three of us worked at, no coincidences there. Anyway, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm done talking about that massage parlor.
Good.
So at some point, every interaction he and I had, I was the one to instigate it. I would be the one to talk to him. I'd be the one to text first. He stopped doing the bare minimum. And then at some point, I had a panic attack at 3 a.m, and I went, oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm not doing this
right.
at all. Because
right.
I don't have anxiety, and I'm not going to let someone make me develop it. So I sent him a bunch of voice messages, because I didn't want to call him at 4 a.m, but I didn't want to text him, because that's not good enough. So I just sent voice messages over text. And I sent the same voice messages to her, too. Well, not the same ones, but,
right.
telling her what had happened. Because I told her for 2 reasons. The reason that I told her was so that she could make an informed decision about how to proceed.
Right.
Because I had basically told her that he was gleeful that this thing between you and the fiancé was going to fall apart. He was gleeful,
Right.
And the second reason I told her that I didn't say to her, which if for some reason she somehow listens to this podcast, this is the actual reason why I told her that. It's so when the shit hits the fan, when the train finally derails, when the bomb finally drops, it's on her head as well.
Well, she can't say that you didn't tell her.
Exactly. Because here's the thing, this whole situation that's unfolding, my real-life soap opera that I didn't sign up for, I can claim ignorance. I could have gone I had no idea this was there until it just got let out of the box. I basically got left in the dust when I tried to call him out on it.
Right.
She can't claim that.
No.
So, if it just gets poisoned, then that's on her head too.
Well,
I don't mean that per se in a harsh way.
Yeah, but you have to be careful of the motive that you have. You have to make sure.
Yes.
That your motive was you're angry and hurt, and
I did want to tell her.
And you don't have an issue with other people being angry and hurt who caused your anger and hurt.
Correct.
But you did reach out to her as a friend.
Yeah, I did. I did not accuse her. I did not say anything negative. I did not yell. I did not cry. I did not beg to either of them. I was as poignant as I could be at 4 a.m, 4
a.m.
Yeah. I was very matter of fact. I laid it out. I laid it at his feet. I said, this is what you did. You continued to do it. You lied to me and are trying to take steps to replace me. You're not talking to me anymore. I laid it all at his feet. So he couldn't not take responsibility.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
The whole thing of, if you're just being told what to do, you don't take responsibility. No, I purposefully said what I said so that he had no choice but to take responsibility. Because I'm not going to have this whole thing of, it's what I was told to do. Oh, no. You don't get that.
Yeah.
You don't get that out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That'll be $2.
Yeah, it'll be $2. Yeah, I need some gum. So, last night as of recording this, I basically... It had been 2 weeks. Some people take longer, some people take shorter time to mourn the loss of a relationship. Especially one that ended like that. Like, Jesus Christ.
Well, you're just not used to dealing with people who operate that way.
I'm also not used to having people two-time me like that. He technically didn't cheat on me, but I can tell it was going in that direction.
Well,
Because he just would not, he wouldn't stop.
He chose a different script to break up with you.
I had to break.
He didn't do your, hey, we've been together.
I thought he would do the honorable thing and break up with me.
But, the Temptations or the Spinners singing in the background.
Dude.
Yo, yo, yo.
All right, look, not everything has to...
He told you he was interested in somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought that would be the...
Would clue me in?
I guess.
I don't know.
I personally have never been successful when I was with a particular woman talking about how much I wanted to be with another woman.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. But here's the thing. That was my first time experiencing that.
I know I'm impressed with myself, but I don't think I...
Yeah, that's not something you need to do. Like, ever.
Well...
But anyway...
it does happen.
Christ.
There has to be a clear understanding and agreement.
Well, I mean...
in place.
Yeah, I know. But I was just... that's kind of why... that's kind of why I split with him anyway. Because it's like, you just can't stop talking about it.
Right.
So that leads me to think that, so I just need to go. Now, yes, it did hurt, and I did cry, and I'm still bitter. I was angrier.
Oh, yeah. You'll get on the other side.
But, yeah, I'm in the process of getting on the other side of it. Last night, I did what I've always heard of, what you do.
Oh, now we get to it.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. We needed the entire backstory because this is the soap opera I did not sign up for.
Soap opera I didn't sign up for.
I didn't sign up for this shit. Like, not at all.
It's a new slogan. Soap opera I didn't sign up for.
Yeah, I think we're going to write that down. I'm probably going to call that, that's probably going to be the name of the episode. Soap opera I didn't sign up for. Anyway.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, I did that thing where you're supposed to write a letter to someone who's hurt you, say everything you've always wanted to tell them, but you've never managed to.
Did you use the word prick?
There was some cussing in that letter. Like, I've told this to several people that I didn't want to say certain things about him out loud. Like, I didn't want to curse him. I don't mean cuss, I mean curse.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
No, there's a difference between being like, fuck you, man, fuck you in your car, versus, basically casting some negative stuff at somebody.
I hope you have a wreck and slide under a school bus.
Yeah.
No, the people, I wish more people understood that.
Yeah.
There's between using profanity and actually cursing someone.
Yes.
Don't curse people.
Don't curse people. But here's the thing.
Right.
I always had the question of, now, yes, you cannot curse the innocent, people who have not wronged you.
Well, and it says to forgive those who have.
And to forgive those who have. But what about those who have wronged you? Like...
you forgive those who have wronged you.
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay.
Okay. I know it takes time, and forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself, too, so that you can sleep at night, or whatever Buddha said. Jesus, whatever.
Sure.
That letter, I laid it all out.
Okay.
Every nasty thing
How many pages?
I don't want to say.
Oh, that's... Where'd you burn this bonfire at?
The front porch.
Oh, thank God you went outside.
Yes, I went outside. I'm angry, not stupid.
Woo!
Yeah, there was a storm last night. I went, oh, convenient. Thank you, God. Yeah, every positive thing I wanted to say, every, the trips we took, the time we shared, the fact I got him to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, even though it just drives him up a fucking wall because it makes no goddamn sense, and I was like, yeah, I know, it's awesome. To every negative, just destructive thing I could think of to hurl at him.
Yeah.
Some of the nastiest things that I was surprised I could pull out of me.
Uh-huh.
Like, that was the first time I just, on a piece of paper, I just unloaded on this guy.
You had the right motivation?
Yes, because I had to get it out. This wasn't an exercise in, I hope it happens to you. It was an exercise is, I have to get this out, because if I don't, one day, I'll die. It's like draining pus from an abscess.
Yeah.
It is necessary to get all that gunk out in order for the wound to heal.
Yeah.
That was the motivation.
And that's a pretty productive way to do it.
Yeah, that was the motivation.
And it works.
Yeah.
It's a start.
Indeed. So that was the motivation.
Right.
It wasn't specifically to curse him in his life.
No.
Or the people around him. This was what I was thinking, this is what I felt, and I had to get it out.
Sure.
Get it out of my head, out of my heart. Out of the chakras.
I'm a big believer in writing stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Keep you sane.
Oh, yeah. And then last night I just, lit up some incense, lit that candle that almost caught fire. Well, actually did catch fire over there.
Yeah.
And I used that candle fire to burn that letter.
Right.
The storm rolled in, the lightning crashed. That letter burnt really fast.
Fish were scared.
Yeah, I don't care what the neighbors think. They're all crackheads anyway. And the one person that isn't crackhead is a Karen, and then therefore I extra don't care what she says.
Anywho.
Yeah. And the thunder and the thunder and the lightning and the rain came. That letter burnt up real quick. I just tossed it onto the pavement part, not the grass.
Right.
And the letter burnt up, and the embers were quenched by the rain.
Oh, cool. That's a nice send-off.
Oh, yeah. And I purposely looked at the fire as it burnt and at the embers and the rain washing it all away. 'Cause I was like, yeah, this hurts, but it was necessary.
Necessary.
Yes. So that's what happened last night. As of this particular recording,
Yeah.
So.
Feel better?
Yeah.
You got to verbalize a lot of it, too.
Oh, yeah. I had to.
And what you wrote down, you really don't want to, well, some of it.
No, I don't want to.
Some of it you don't want to verbalize.
No, I don't. I said some really bad things that you would be ashamed of me.
I'd beat you.
You would.
That's right.
So
good for you.
Yeah, I do feel a lot better. I will say this.
Yeah, it's tough.
I will speak on this subject I will stop speaking on the subject of this particular relationship and how it ended and what transpired, except for two circumstances.
Uh-huh.
One, to serve as like an example.
Okay.
Like, my friend, she's dealing with this, and I said to her, well, what I did when I was in a similar predicament was, tell that son of a bitch to stop talking about this woman, and he completely blocked me off.
I would pack my bags and leave.
Yeah, and
his
leave his
motherfucker.
motherfucker. Yeah. to serve as an example.
Okay. All right.
And
That's
2,
fair.
if there's an update.
An update.
Hey.
You're waiting on that. That's fine.
Hey, I told you, this is the soap opera I didn't sign up for.
Soap opera I didn't sign up for.
I refuse to not be the main character. I refuse to be
You're talking about it, so
Yeah.
why can't you be the main character?
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. I refuse to be someone's
You're not a part
side
of their
character.
story. They're part of your story.
Yeah, I'm going to turn out to be the more successful one, so I don't know what people want from this, so...
Eat it.
Anyway. Yeah, this whole situation has convinced me to live out my best life, even if it is out of spite.
Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works.
I'm telling
Whatever
you.
gets me from A to B, that's fine.
As long as it doesn't harm other people.
Nope. No,
Then-
I'm not counting on harming people. I'm just going to be like, okay,
Then-
so... hey,
That's what it takes.
yeah, this is what it takes. I'll be like, hey, I'm gonna just shine my, I'm gonna shine my pretty ass off. I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna be glowing.
That approach
Get
kept
my
me-
name
kept me
out there.
between kept me between the white lines for a long time.
Indeed. Basically, make people
Yeah.
envious of my success.
That's right.
But I am aware that this train has to derail sooner or later. I was just smart enough to get off before it really got going.
Yeah, and then you look back on it and go, "Boy, I'm glad I
got off
of
there."
that train.
Yep.
I don't know why I was so upset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm willing to bet sometime in the next year, 2 years, maybe 5 or 10 years, I am going to get some kind of ping from a friend of mine.
It can't end well.
It can't end well.
Can't.
This is like this is too many things. There are just too many things at play. A woman who's trying to get married, who's running all these businesses, and a guy who either consciously or unconsciously is going to poison their relationship.
I mean, the only way that they will get out unscathed is to
Cut everything off.
with him.
Yeah.
100% entirely.
100% entirely.
Be done. Bang.
And yes, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Then that's it. But it's not going to happen that way because I know who she is.
Right.
So that's basically the whole thing is, hey, I already admitted I was petty, signing up for a massage appointment at a competing parlor.
Take that.
Yeah, take that. I voted with my wallet. And you know what else I'm going to do? Because the job I have, I'm going to refer my clients to them. Yeah. Swim this, bitch.
Right.
Yeah, don't piss me off. I'll take your business away.
Watch out.
I know. I'm not, well, actually, I'm just trying to embrace this whole vengeful persona, because not for malicious reasons, but for justifiable reasons. Because, hey, look, sometimes karma doesn't have hands. There was an episode of My Name is Earl, which is a show I used to love as a kid. The main character, Earl, it's a little, rednecky and white trash, but
It's a lot rednecky and white trash.
But hey, you know what?
Wonderful.
Yeah, because sometimes it's like,
It's a farce.
yeah, it's a farce, and it's not like you and I misunderstood how these people operated. You see,
I've met every single one of them.
exactly. I've met almost every single one of them. You've definitely met every single one of them.
Yeah.
And there was this episode where, I don't remember exactly why, Earl got a job as at a fast food joint, and the manager was just an asshole.
Right.
Making Earl do all this stupid shit that gets him in danger, making him eat like E. coli straight off of a fry.
Right.
And the whole time, Earl is just getting madder and madder, just about to lose his mind and punch this guy. Then he comes to realize that this manager has been embezzling funds from the restaurant, has a girlfriend and a wife who don't know each other exist.
Oh, that episode.
That episode.
Okay.
And he ends up in jail because at some point Earl punches him in the face. He goes to the hospital. The wife and the girlfriend find him at the hospital and meet each other. And of course, they're angry because they had no clue the other one existed.
Right.
So they worked together with lawyers to go through the guy's files, find out he's been embezzling funds, and that manager goes to jail. And at the end of the episode, Earl was just so broken up, and he was trying to figure out how to get this guy out of jail because he punched him and caused all this to happen to him.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
And then the brother Randy, who was clearly the dumb motherfucker, who every now and again had something really smart to say.
A nugget of wisdom.
A nugget of wisdom.
You drop out of left field.
Yeah, that's kind of a trope I've noticed, or
Right.
it used to be pretty popular, and you don't really see that anymore.
Not really.
Where the idiot would every now and again have a nugget of wisdom.
Right.
You search for knowledge in the most unexpected places. That was the moral of that particular archetype.
Right.
And Randy says to Earl that karma doesn't have hands. And Earl interprets this as karma used his fist to deliver the what was just deserved to that manager.
Makes sense.
That's how I view situations like that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that's how it turns out.
Indeed.
It really is. People that,
So stuff like that, I don't beat myself over
Please don't.
it. So, because
Just
sometimes karma
like-
doesn't have hands.
karma doesn't have hands.
No,
You're not going to outrun it.
no.
You're not.
But sometimes you can be the instrument of it, and that's not something to beat yourself up over.
No. No.
So,
No.
so that's just how I take the situation. I have removed my presence from the situation, and I'm going to potentially take some of their clientele away from their stores.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Yeah, this is what happens when you piss off a personal trainer.
Anyway.
Anyway, I'm just saying, we got connections. So, alright, to kind of lighten the mood, it didn't really get dour, but I definitely had to express some things and get it out there.
Sure.
And tell a good story at the same time, even if it's at my own expense. Hey, monetize the pain.
Monetize the pain.
Am I right? Man, we get a t-shirt line, that's the first thing we're going to do.
Monetize the pain, I'm telling you.
Monetize the pain. It's our logo is just going to be the bear with the cigar in his mouth, and
The
it's going to be
hostage bear.
the hostage bear, the cigar in his mouth, and it's going to be like monetize the pain. And there's a baseball bat with nails in it,
Or something.
something. Anyway, so all right, something to kind of lighten the mood. Okay,
Segue.
segue. Kava.
It's not a segue.
Yes, it is.
Why did you seek this out?
I was
uptight?
curious.
Curious and uptight from the breakup?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Ever since the breakup, I decided if there is one thing that this man has taught me, it is I have to live.
Live.
Does that make sense?
So,
he gave me the gift of not being stuck in one building all the time, 5 days a week, hitting a time clock. He basically jarred me out of that 40-hour work week schedule.
cool.
He gave that gift to me, and I do that was part of
So-
the part of the positive of that letter.
Part of you choosing kava?
Basically, I had basically made the commitment to myself that if there was a place I wanted to go within my means to go, and I didn't have any responsibilities, I would go.
Okay.
I don't have to work. Okay, I'm going to go out of state. Oh, I don't have to do anything this day? I'm going to go to the forest.
Okay.
I don't have to do anything this day? I'm going to go look at this place.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Experience.
Your childhood
Relive childhood.
when we lived out there.
Yeah, we were nomads. We scoured the place.
Yep.
So at some point I got a coupon for kava, this kava bar in town. Like,
Is it like a tea shop or a bar?
both?
Really?
Let me explain.
Sure.
Okay. So, this place was surprisingly located next to a very conservative university. like really conservative university. And as soon as I walked into...
Kava's not out of bounds.
No, it's not out of bounds, but it's not traditional. I'm not saying conservative is a negative
A completely
thing.
100% organic product produced in a third world country.
Hey, I'm just saying. Look, I'm not mocking traditionalism or conservatism in this regards, but this was a far cry from the standard crowd that went to this
There's a difference
place.
between, hey, we don't agree with that, plus, versus walking outside the place with
Correct.
sign.
Correct.
So,
no, I get that, but I basically went into this place and I found where the pagans hung out that go
really?
into this. Yes.
How long has this place been there?
Apparently, like a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, like close to 10, according to the bartender lady.
Cool.
I had no idea.
Doing something right.
Yeah, they must be doing something right. Because when I saw it, I initially thought it was a coffee shop. You know, kava, Java. Yeah, sounds similar. I didn't know any better.
Eureka.
Indeed. So, you know, I had a coupon. It was like 1 free traditional kava and 10% off of another order. So I ordered a, traditional kava and like a muffin, like a blueberry muffin, because they didn't have chocolate. Anyway, my own personal vendetta against that aside. They were explaining what kava was. It was a root-based beverage from, like, the South Pacific areas, Polynesia and Hawaii, places like that, the Ring of Fire region.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, that sounds awesome. They said it tasted bitter, was prone to sediment, so I had to stir it frequently with pineapple on a stick.
That's terrible.
Yeah, apparently it was fiber. I didn't disagree. They said that it is drunk socially and commercially to relieve stress, make you come out of your shell and be sociable. So by bar, they don't mean alcohol, they mean bar as in the socializing bar.
Okay.
And tea shop as in they're serving a very specialized item.
Sure.
So it was a little bit of both. So I, found a corner and drunk this bitter-ass fucking bowl of kava.
They brought you a bowl?
Yeah, they serve it in bowls.
All right.
Yeah, it's about the size of like a cereal bowl-ish.
Right.
So it wasn't big.
Is it like thick?
No.
Really?
Yeah, thank God. It wasn't like porridge, thank God.
Like a green tea serving cup?
A little bigger than that.
Okay.
No, thankfully the beverage was not thick. If it was thick, I probably would have puked. And I am happy I got that blueberry muffin to balance out the bitterness, thank God. So, I drank this whole thing and I went, yeah, I don't think I want another one of these. You know what happens? Ordered a mango smoothie and another traditional kava because I'm stupid sometimes. I make bad decisions sometimes.
So it wasn't the first one, it was the second one.
I'm getting there.
Ah.
All right, so I come up to the bar and, the kava being the first thing I drank, I was going like, okay, what else they got that has flavor? And I was like, I asked the people at the bar, I was like, hey, what do you recommend for, people who, want flavor? And they said, want flavor? Yeah. It was like this papaya mango fruity smoothie, which was really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool. That
was tight. And I ordered another kava because I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm already here.
All right.
And, there was nothing. There was nothing in the smoothie except for the fruit.
Right.
Obviously. And ice, obviously. But at some point, drinking, going back and forth between the kava and the smoothie, I started to feel this buzzing going up and down my spine and in the back of my head.
Like a heavy...
Yeah.
Wow.
I think people who practice Kundalini call that the prana. Yeah. Some kind of vibration in my body. And it started to make my head buzz, and I started to kind of do that thing where people can't hold their head still.
All right.
And I was like, this is weird. I mean, this tastes terrible, but there's nothing special about the mango drink.
Involuntary musculature activity.
Yeah, and I was like, I was like, okay, this is weird. I continued to drink the kava. And I was thinking, like, okay, they were talking about how kava makes you more sociable because of how it's designed, comes out of your shell, enzymes, and all that fun shit.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, whatever. And then my head started to twitch side to side. I felt twinges in my hands and feet.
Yeah.
I was starting to get wound up.
Did you ever get any sweat on your upper lip?
Not really.
Okay.
It wasn't heroin. So, then I started to realize I was twitching, and suddenly the overwhelming feeling of wanting to throw a brick at someone's windshield came over me. And that's when I was like, oh no, what the hell is happening? I'm starting to get feeling crazy.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. There were people who were new,
yeah,
and, they were drinking, and, people who were drinking kava, no one was getting up and, like, dancing naked on a table. Everyone was, sociable and peachy, but no one was acting twitchy.
Do you notice any bludgeoned weapons on the wall or anything?
There were, Polynesian-type weapons on the wall.
Really?
Yes.
Actual weapons on the wall?
Yes, they were in glass cases, but they were still there.
Well.
They were decoration, but they were still there.
Yeah, you don't want to cause property damage to get them.
True.
But you were going to cause property damage.
To get them.
If you get them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, there was even, like, this Polynesian-style battle axe behind the bar, like, on the wall, still encased in...
wear a loincloth?
Shit, no. I don't know if the Polynesians used battle axes, but it looked like a leaf,
Really?
And there was, like, palm trees behind... I don't know. Yeah. I was like, okay, it might be Polynesian Samoan inspired, but I don't think it's legit. I'm not sure if they had access to steel. I haven't done my research on the subject. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or iron or anything.
Sure.
Iron maybe. Because of all yeah, they probably would have access to stuff like possibly steel, definitely iron, because fire islands, volcanoes. Yeah. So they probably had access to some form of iron.
Japan figured it out.
Yeah, they did figure it out.
So,
and they were really good.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So
I started to act all like, twitchy and feeling crazy. And I was like, hey, can you elaborate more on the kava? And then they gave me this little snippet. This little...
It wasn't included in the original instructions? I got you.
It was not. They told me...
Oh, now you get the disclaimer.
Yeah. Yes. Because if they had told me before I drank it, I would just chalk this up as like, placebo effect or something like that.
Because they had planted that seed.
They planted the seed. Sure. They did not plant the seed, so that's how I know this is legit.
Okay, all right.
They told me that kava can be used as a substitute for alcohol for recovering alcoholics.
Really?
So it would give you a similar buzz as being drunk without incapacitating your motor skills or inhibiting your judgment.
I gotcha.
So what they just did... Here's the thing. I told them, I paid off my tab, and I said, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And, the bartender...
I'll start busting this place up, man.
I told the bartender, the bartenders were like, whoa, what's wrong? Why you gotta get out of here so quickly? And I said, all right, look, there are a couple of primary drunk people in this world. There are happy drunks. There are sad drunks.
Yeah.
There are angry drunks. when I drink, I get fucking crazy.
Right.
Like, the only reason I haven't done anything bad enough to get arrested is eventually alcohol will slow you down.
Yes.
Because it's a downer.
Right.
You know, what they basically just created was they created drunk me with perfect motor skills and perfect judgment. So if I decided to go out and cause public destruction of public property, I would have done it. Because I had the energy to do so, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I have to sedate myself.
Good thing you were a town away from your soap opera.
Yeah, I know, because that was one of the first things I thought of was...
We're going to drive over there and kill his mailbox.
I would have. I was like, I want to drive to my ex's house and throw a brick through his windshield. I want to buy mint seeds and throw them all over his yard.
She has an alibi for that night.
Yeah. For legal reasons, this is a joke. I seriously had thoughts of, like, I want to go to, like, Walmart and garden centers that are opened at 10 in the morning. I want to buy a bunch of mint seeds and wildflower seeds and throw them all over his lawn.
Ooh.
Because mint is a weed.
You're an agrarian terrorist.
Yes. No, here's the thing. Mint is a weed.
Yes.
If you put it straight into the earth, it will not only take over, it will kill everything else. Your grass, other plants that are planted, your trees. So, if I had mint bombed his lawn, his backyard and his front yard, because they're both exposed, in a matter of weeks... it would just be nothing but mint. He would smell nothing but mint. And there's nothing he can do about it. Because you can't uproot mint, because the root system is so deep. He would have to either backhoe it, or just completely salt the earth in order to get rid of that mint. And I was jacked up like this, thinking these things through... going, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, just jittering in my fucking car as I try to find a bar with sushi and beer. Because I knew that if there was no one nearby, no one could have, like, grabbed me to try to hold me back. I was like, oh, I'm gonna, I want to go torch someone's car. I want to, throw mint in his lawn.
Cancel their grass.
Yeah, cancel their grass. Know your place, trash. Yeah, every second was a new crazy thought. I want to throw mint in his yard. I want to throw a brick through someone's windshield. I want to go up to the roof and break dance.
All right.
Just a brand new crazy thought.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, it was a good time, but I had enough self-awareness to go, I must be stopped.
So you had to go eat something and...
What I did was I found this sushi bar that was open till 2 in the morning. I know because I looked it up on my phone.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going. I don't care. I gotta get something to deactivate this. Like, I don't mind the crazy thoughts because they're just thoughts.
Right.
But I was capable of doing it. That was the problem.
Yeah, it isn't A. It isn't B. It's how you get from A to B.
Correct.
It's like, yeah.
Yes.
You gotta throw some water on that fire sometimes.
And I did it. And in the process, I found my new favorite cider, hard cider.
Cool.
It's called 1911, and they don't sell it in this state. Like, not publicly. You can't, like, go to a Target and find it, apparently.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. You can get it at, like, a bar.
Give it time.
I know. You can find it at, like, a bar. You probably find it maybe... further up north, where it's from, but not, like, in a Target or a liquor store, which I was mad at, because I was like, man, this stuff is awesome, and I love it. It's so good. It's so good. It's my favorite hard cider. They don't sell it.
After the podcast asked me, I know a place they probably sell it.
Ooh, I might go there. I gotta run errands anyway. All right. So that was my experience with kava. It scared the shit out of me.
Hope it doesn't happen every time.
Oh my god, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I would go back for their smoothies. Check that out. Oh yeah, we're going.
Wow,
but yeah, but I'm not drinking the kava. You can have one.
I'll take one.
I think you'll be fine with one. And if you were to, like, get crazy, I'll just take you to that sushi bar and then you'll have some 1911. Yeah. Because that'll dampen it. So, like I said,
my first experience with kava was, I was looking for that thing to even me out.
Yeah?
And I had found it with a particular amino acid.
Yeah.
That was taken off the market for a while. So I had to find other
alternative sources.
Sure. I tried something, and it worked okay for a while. And then while I was, these are just supplements that you could buy over the counter.
Sure.
In, most stores. Then I came across kava, and I remember reading an article on it, and I thought, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
So I bought a bottle of it, and I came home, and I was like, hey, well, let's just get this party started. So I was more interested.
You were more interested in the effects rather than the taste.
The calming effects.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. They said it was good for stress or something like that. Anyway, so I took 2.
Yeah.
And it knocked me right out. It knocked me right out. It knocked me down for a good 2 to 3 hours. I slept.
How does that happen? Like,
and then after that,
yeah, you were fine.
I took it, and I didn't have that reaction again.
Okay, you're probably better. I might do better if I had it now.
Well, the tea, is closer to the source.
Sure. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, how the frick does that work? It would relax you, but it turned me into a sociopath.
I didn't drink the tea.
Ah.
And then you had 2 of them.
Yeah.
Your first time out. So,
Yeah. No, I think I think I did scare the bartenders, the 2 lasses, but I told them, like, all right, look, I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm not telling you this because I'm not, telling you this because, I'm insulted or the product is bad. I'm telling you because this is what's happening, and unless you want to call the cops, I need to go.
I gotta go.
Yeah. Because I try to do that. It's like, don't be afraid of what you're looking at or what you're hearing.
Right.
Like, I will tell you when to be afraid. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Don't be scared.
It's time to go.
Yeah. Because, like I said, I had enough self-awareness to go, I need to sedate myself.
Right.
I need to top this back over. And it did work.
Cool.
Got some food, some alcohol, pedaled my dumb ass home, went to bed. Awesome. So that was my experience with kava. I became a lunatic with full clarity. That was the closest I had gotten to actually breaking into his house. I'm not lying.
Too far to drive.
Nope, it wasn't. I knew if I had decided to do it, I would have gone over there and tried to fuck his house up.
Yeah.
I would have turned into that white trash person, except then I couldn't claim that I was, drunk.
Right.
I was fully, mentally clear. Motor skills were perfect. But I was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So.
I assure you, getting arrested will.
Yeah, I know.
Change your narrative.
Yeah, I know.
Change mine.
No, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I could get arrested, but meh.
Well, you watch too many shows where people do stuff like that, and the cops never show up.
Yeah, no, I know.
They're always like, "All right, you young scamp."
No, I knew that wouldn't.
Doing that stuff
I knew that.
Here.
Yeah, I knew that wouldn't have happened. They would have arrested me, and I would have been like, yeah. Because I was just out of my
That's
mind.
the quickest way to lose your buzz.
Yeah, I know.
Freaking steel handcuffs.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I had to do something, so.
So real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
All right, I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't mean to dump my whole thing with the
No, it's okay.
relationship.
Hey, some days you got stuff to say. Sometimes I'll have stuff to say.
Sure. No problem.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Sweet.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. I was your host, Bel-E.
And I was your co-host, Mr. Scratch.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Bye.